Hello, welcome to the Set Up for Success show. We are so excited to be coming to you today. My name is Danielle Morrell, and I'm here with my business partner, Tanya Watkins.
Hey, girl.
And every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we come to you to share conversation, to have conversation, and to share with you about how women can build a successful business online. And today is no different. We're really excited. If you've been following us for any time, you know that we're really passionate about, like I said, having conversation with women about how to build a business that allows them to have more time, more freedom, more money. And we're really passionate about that because of what we're going to discuss today when it comes to really having it all and the modern woman navigating the modern world. So again, if you come on, again, welcome. We're excited to, talk with you. Let us know your name, where you're from down below in the comments. If you have a business, let us know that as well. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur or established entrepreneur, let us know that. We'd love to, connect with you and further this conversation down below. Right, Tanya? Can you hear me? Oh, can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, I'm really excited for this conversation. I was just adding it to all the groups. This is so awesome.
Yes. So, today we're going to be talking about business bandwidth and having it all. And this is, like I said, a topic that we are really passionate about because we believe that it's not, we don't want just women to be successful in business. We really want women to be successful in all areas of their life. We really want women to be able to have the time and the money. We want them to have both to be able to show up at their highest level in all areas of their life. And Tanya and I have been very intentional about how we've built our business to be able, again, to give us the energy and the mental capacity to be able on top of our game, not just in business, but in all areas. And one of the things Tanya and I have been observing for quite some time, unfortunately, and it brings us no joy to share this, but it's something we need to start talking more about, is, women becoming very successful in business, especially in this online space, but not being able to maintain their marriages, not being able to maintain relationships. And it's a trend, an unfortunate trend that we see very often. And it's not just isolated to women in business. This could be, broad scope of successful women in general. But the whole point of, us personally starting our own business was so that we could take control of our time and our money and to allow us to make time for our family and for our loved ones. So it's really disheartening when we see women in business and again online come online for those same intentions just for to hit multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, and end up in divorce. And we've seen this a lot, and not only just divorce, but mental strain and stress. We are seeing a lot of high achieving women online entrepreneurs in this space have really struggling out loud with mental stress. And though there's nothing wrong to be stressed in life, to go through those seasons or whatever. But when you can clearly see the distress and it's ongoing, it's a cause for concern. And so we want to, again,
building the business was like, for me, I know, and I think we've both had the kind of epiphany where we knew like, okay, I don't want to be an employee anymore. Right. And so the things it wasn't just not being employable. It was the time freedom that was lacking, right? It was the creative freedom, right? All of those things. So it's like, we're building the business to get out of that, to be able to say like, no, I do want to be able to take my daughter to her basketball practice and be at all the games and not feel like I have to rush home from work and, take my heels off. But I didn't want to do that. But then we build businesses that put us in the same time struggle, the same stress, the same, so, and that's why we talk about this all the time. Like, we want you to go about this in a smarter way so that not only are you able to creatively do what you love, you're able to do so in a way that is freeing in every sense of the word.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why Ty and I are always talking about business models in our own personal businesses and jointly in this Set Up for Success business. And why we created that is because we say this all the time. So you will hear this again, I promise, especially out of my mouth, is that there are many ways to make money in business. Okay. And everybody's figured out, and somebody has made money in every one of those ways. But not all business models are the same. And the thing is, there's pros and cons to all of them. And the unfortunate part is a lot of us startup entrepreneurs aren't really even familiar with business models. So they just do what they think they're supposed to do as an entrepreneur, and then they get in the business for a while, and then they start to realize, oh wait, there's a such thing as a business model. And a business model is literally how your business is set up to generate income or generate revenue. So we talk about this all the time about low tickets and high ticket business models. And all of this matters, right, in determining what business is really going to work for you, your life, and your family, because they're not all the same. Some do require way more energy, way more resources, way more marketing, way more. And a lot of women don't understand that all of this extra energy and all this marketing or all these things that you have to do to make that business work is really impeding on your bandwidth. And we're here at the SOBC Set Up for Success Online Business Consultant Program. Ty and I, as master coaches, we one of our things that we want to give more to women is bandwidth. We want to get more time on your, more space in your mind to be able to think, to make good decisions, to relax, to rest. We find that too many women have too much going on in their life and in their business, and it's creating more mental chaos, more mental stress, more mental energy. Okay. And that is causing, again, this making decisions poorly, kind of burning the stick at both ends type of thing. And it really doesn't allow you when your mind, see, that's the unhidden part. It's like we hear a lot about the physical part of business, or the got to do a lot of things. I got to go do this, got to do that. But we don't ever really take into consideration the mental bandwidth, the mental things that are going. So not only do you have to do 1,500 things a day, between family, life, do this, got to do this for my business. You also have got thousands of things running through your head that, oh my God, you're looking 4 months in advance, and you all, and it's just like that right there too puts a lot of stress. And we feel like women need more bandwidth, we need more mental energy and space where they're not maxed out, they're not even close, so that they have that piece that they can make a decision, that everything's not feeling rushed or unorganized, because that and then the thinking of that makes more of that, because then that's a whole nother layer on top of that. Knowing that you don't have you're stressed out, you're thinking about it, I don't have time to think. That is a whole nother layer that you observing how your bandwidth is gone, and it's sucking.
Not to mention, not to cut you off, but there's also long-term repercussions of not flexing the muscle of critical thinking and having time to sit in decision-making processes. Like, there is a long-term repercussion for that. So over time, because we're not flexing that muscle, we're not giving ourselves time to truly understand how to go about, having time to think and breathe, that when 2-3 years from now, where our decision-making is that much, like, it just becomes a hole, right? Because of rut, a circle of just...
Yeah, no, absolutely. We see this all the time. And this is why we caution women to not to go too long in business on your own, because what happens is that it creates more mental, you trying to figure it out, and then you're creating more work in your head, and then not sitting there. But then what happens is, you start to make poor decisions out of that lack of being able to think and to research and stuff. And then you start a habit of bad decision making that gets further and further. That's hard. And we say this all the time, especially with women in relationships or marriage. You really don't want to make too many business mistakes if you need to get a business partner or your spouse to co-sign on it, because it's harder for them to support you when you have a track record of making poor decisions. And so women really, need to, like, if you're on your own, lucky you. I always say that's why you should build a business as soon as you can, whether you're out of a relationship or not, so you can make some of these mistakes on your own. If you're like me, who got in a relationship very early in life, I had to make them in a marriage. And I'm just grateful that I stopped playing around and invested in a coach who got me on path, so I wouldn't be here 6 years later still, out here making these mistakes. But yeah, just to back to the point, yeah, I think so. That just kind of, going what you're saying, that right, these these decisions and the bandwidth have these long term, because it starts, not giving you the space to really, like I said, have discernment, be able to do your research, be able to process things, be able to be strategic. So many women aren't really being able to be savvy and strategic because they're making a lot of decisions out of stress. They're making a lot of decisions out of, time constraints, and again, I don't think it's just good enough for women to have money. I think they need a lot of time and bandwidth. So, and again, business models, how you're building your business matters. So if you're watching this, let us know, how many hours per week do you work in your business? Are you hitting your revenue goals? Are you happy where you are? Or do you feel like your bandwidth is being tested, and that, you feel like, it's a lot to process, and what's going on outside, and then also what's going on in your mind? Let us know. Thank you so much, Shanta. I think I said that right, Shanta. Thank you so much. A high school senior photographer. Very cool. Very cool. Is that your own business, if you're checking this out still, or do you work for somebody? Let us know. Hello, Isis. I think I'm saying that well. So let us know if you're checking this out live or on the replay, kind of where you feel you are as far as where it comes with your bandwidth. But yeah, Tanya, so again, right, this is something we're really passionate about, because it's not just good enough to build a business. It's very important that you're intentional of how you build that business for yourself. And again, a lot of women we find just don't know the pros and cons of different business models, because they haven't invested in somebody who, this is their job. It's Tanya and I's job. This is what we do for a living, is, invest in coaches, check out strategies, implement strategies. We know, Tanya and I know pretty much the pro and con on every way to do business online. And it's very costly when you don't know the pros and cons, because you'll pick a way of doing business. Oh, let me sell a product-based business. Let me charge $100, thinking that it's going to work. And then you spend years spending a lot of energy and mental bandwidth and mental gymnastics trying to figure it out.
Yeah. We don't want for your business building to be counterintuitive to the exact life that you want to live. And the unfortunate thing is that we see that a lot with women that we've either coached or who have been in our communities, where they're saying they want more time, they want to be able to do more, to Danielle's point, having the bandwidth to make smart decisions, think strategically about their life and their business and how they want to live life in 2-3 years, even having the mental capacity to think in, 90-day sprints and year-long sprints and in 5 years. And I mean, a lot of women that we speak to don't even have, they're like, I'm just trying to get through today. What do you mean a year from now? We talk about, 2.5, 3 years, 4, 5 years from now. They're like, I'm trying to make it to Saturday. I need this work week to be done. I got all these things going on. So when we see that, then it's even more pressing for us to help you build a business that can move you away from that as quickly as possible. And that's why we don't care if we ever sound like a broken record when we talk about business models. We talk about bandwidth, when we talk about making sure that you're earning more and are able to work less over time, because it is the only way going into, we see how life is with just all the responsibilities, as Danielle says, the modern woman. And we don't want to ever negate anything to be able to run a business. I don't want to be less of a mom so that I can have a great business. I don't want to be less of a wife so I can have a great business. I don't want to be less of a friend, or I don't want to, take less care of myself even. So that I love that. Like, I don't want that. And I know you don't either. And that's why we talk about this all the time, because it's not rocket science either.
Yeah, but it's not rocket science, but it's definitely an epidemic. And right, because And even for women who aren't uber successful in business yet, there are a lot of women have a lot of relationship strains, or even in the trying to get there. I mean, burning the midnight oil, spending weekends and all the time that they should be with their children working on their business. Let us know if it's okay. It's a safe space. I've been there, I've done that. I pissed off a lot of family members when it would be Thanksgiving and your girl would have a laptop and I'd be in my brother-in-law's office, like, I know y'all cooking Thanksgiving, and it looks sweaty over there, but I got this thing that's due today. You know what I mean? So I just realized that this isn't. I need to make sure that I'm building my business around my life and not my life around my business, and that I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know what I didn't know what I was doing, and that put me in a situation that I was doing business really very hard and wrong. It was wrong, and not wrong. It didn't make something, but it wasn't going to work, long term. And I'm glad I ditched that way of thinking and way of business, before I did end up, because trust me, if I didn't shift gears in how I was doing my business, I wouldn't be married today. Okay, I can confidently say that, because the path I was on was a very, head down, talk to my back situation. And my spouse, he didn't sign up to be a stay-at-home dad. And, he's a mover and shaker himself. And so him picking up, and look, I have a very respectable husband, but, at the end of the day, that isn't his strength either. And he didn't come into the marriage thinking that was going to be his strength. You know what I mean? And a lot of times women get resentful for spouses because they don't do more while you're trying to build your business. But we're also not very understanding in the fact that, when they got married, they did assume that they were having a wife and a mother, and there were certain basic requirements of that they were under the impression. And it's great. They want to see us successful. They want us, but men are men in a sense that they don't want a lot to change, on, their day-to-day life. And we shouldn't have to force them either. I don't think it's right to say, hey, you need to do all this, or I'm going to be pissed off because I'm trying to build my business. No, women, since I was growing up, they always used to tell me boys drool, girls rule. So I'm like looking, I was like, wait a second, if we're so savvy and smart, like we've been saying, and, we're like, why aren't we figuring this out? So I think it's women's responsibility to be savvy and strategic and blaze a path and an alternative for women who want a nice work-life balance, and that's the goal, and that's going to stay the goal. Or self-care and business life. But it's that those things are afterthoughts, like, oh, let me get the business, then I'll do self-care, then I'll make sure my family is right. No, for us, we want to do it at the same time, because you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we want to make sure that we're excelling. We can. And the thing is, we can, but we have to change the way we work. A lot of women went to go work at a 9-to-5 that was created for men with wives. I said this again, I'll say it more, because I need women to understand, right? Yeah. That the way business was created wasn't created with the woman in mind. It was created. So women have to create businesses that support women, for women, that allow us to live the life that we want. You know what I mean? Men can work 40, 60 hours, you know what I mean? Because they a lot of times have a wife or a caregiver. So we can either bust them down and tell them, hey, you know what I mean? You gotta, but here's the deal. A lot of us women, we don't even, and that's just something we can have a deeper conversation about, how much our hormones and just like some of our physiologically makeup is really conducive. Men have testosterone, which gives them the ability to work in, high stressful situations. That's exactly what testosterone is for, to be able to work and because why men are known to be able to be hunters and to be out in the woods, killing bears and whatever else is in them. And that takes, a level of going over the fear and pushing through things and making fast decisions. And that's why they had those chemical makeups. Women don't have that like that. So even our makeup isn't really, conducive for an overstressed life. You know what I mean? Like we need to quit conditioning that. We have some people on here. Don't be quiet now. I want to hear some hard. I want to chat with us. This is a two-way. If you picking up what we're putting down, if you want to add something to the do you feel this way? Like, let me know how many women who are watching feel like, yes, I am trying to improve my home and work life. I do want to have it all. I mean, let me know if you think it's a myth. A lot of women, there will be a lot of articles, I've looked at them, it's a myth, or yes, you can have it all, but not at the same time. And I refuse to believe that. My mindset is no, I'm a deliberate creator. And, I don't care what y'all are creating. Anybody writing that article, if that's what you put on your life, I'm sorry to hear that. But my life, I'm going to have the man, the money, the moves, the movement, yes. The style, all of it. I mean, I can do this all, baby, and I'm going to document the process just to throw in a bonus for everybody watching. You know what I mean? Exactly. And I'm going to do it like I'm doing it for TV. Okay. Like, I don't know why, why this, and so again, I feel like I've matured a lot in my relationships and stuff is because I had the time to watch YouTube videos. I had the time to read books. It was when I started to create more money and more time freedom that I had to invest to see, oh, wow, I could really improve my life. I could see how this wasn't working. But if I was working, I would have never had the opportunity to do research to improve self-mastery in myself.
Yes. You know what? One thing we don't talk about too is women who are already in business and at capacity, there's no room for growth and scaling because you're running a business that you're not happy with because you're not earning enough, but you're already tapped out. So there's no room for more. So
this is a great comment from Sister Goddess, y'all. I'm really working on my names here, but I'm a Chicago hairstylist and I believe my bandwidth is definitely being tested. Especially now that I feel like I'm growing as a person, a mother and a businesswoman, all the thoughts of doing the things right, make sure you're not taking steps back, being prepared mentally and physically for new endeavors, and being there for my family, and still trying to manage everything business that's going on. And now that I've been blessed with a partner who's ready to open a salon for me within the next 2 months, it's like go time. But I know for sure that slowing down a little physical but more mental will be better for my business, my health, my life. Just need to help with the how. And then that becomes a thing. How can I slow it down? Okay, so thank you so much. I mean, yeah, just reading all that stuff, I definitely relate, all those titles, businesswoman, a mother, a partner, you know what I mean? Being somebody, a learner, a student, learning new endeavors and stuff. So it is a lot, right? And this is why we talk about business models. Although I love like you opening a salon, that is another layer too. Like knowing that you have overhead, knowing that you've got to meet certain clientele, knowing that you have to do certain amount of heads every month on top of. And see, this is something we're not discouraging. Just hang on right here while I unpack this. This is why we are we try to educate women on ways that they can package their skill sets and things that are high ticket, where they don't have to trade dollars for hours. So this business sounds fabulous, and you know what I mean? But again, one of the ways when you ask, well, how does this happen? But your question is, I need help with the how. What we're always suggesting is you need to have a skill set, solutions, strategies, it sounds like skill sets, doing hair and stuff. You need to have some type of talent or results driven process that you can charge higher prices for, right? And so for hairstyles, we always say become an image consultant. That's one way you can do it. You don't have to become it, but a way you could do it is always because instead of people just coming to get their hair done once, maybe you can make it a whole thing where they come and get a whole brand photo shoot. You do the hair, you get somebody to do their makeup and take photos, and now they're walking away with the brand experience versus just a new hair. Or, as far as if you do want to just keep it doing the hairstyle, you need to think of a way to book long-term clients for, higher price packages. So instead of people just paying you your customers come twice a month and it's $60, right? So that's 20 sessions over the year. Maybe it's 3,000 or whatever the numbers are, they get a savings where they're able to pay for their year. You got to get creative in that way because you are in a dollars per hour situation. Either that or you're going to have to get really good at your marketing and stuff where you are not in the business, you're working on it, and you got the stylist booked, and y'all are there pumping money, so it's definitely possible. But this is what Tanya and I are really passionate about helping you navigate. How can you take your expertise, your gifts, your talents, your business, and turn it into something that does give you more bandwidth and time? Because we are cautious of women who are literally trading dollars for hours and have to do volume and a lot of sales. If you have to do dozens or hundreds or thousands of people every month to hit your income goal, we are a little concerned, okay? Unless you have a team or you have a process or this has been proven, because that's exactly what keeps women in businesses that suck all their bandwidth. They pick business models and businesses that require way more resources, energy, coordination, systems, teams, then they have the energy and bandwidth to set. That's why we're always about go simple first to hit high income months. Then you can come back and do all the scaling and different things, because it's a thing. What type of business you pick and how you do it has a lot to do with how much bandwidth you'll have and how much bandwidth you won't. And that's why we're very passionate about teaching women the way.
I love it. So Isa says, I love that, and I plan on having different talents to satisfy more than one need for the clients. Also, I sell hair, so everything, because it's a one-stop shop. Working smarter, not harder. Yeah, that's so good. I love it.
You probably need to create, Isis, if you're really serious. I mean, if you're going to spend all this money to open up a new salon, to be honest, a brick and mortar is not cheap. And, especially to run it for a couple months till it's at full capacity, you ought to be talking to Tanya and I, and coming up with a real game plan, because you could probably have some online funnels selling your hair on automation. I would not leave it up to chance that I'm just going to spend all this money on inventory and brick and mortar and leave it up to chance that people are going to walk in, because I do this every time, Tanya. Every time I have to show them a product. People buying hair, buying office supply, whatever your trinket is, and then thinking, oh, I spent all the money in the hair. I done spent money all on the shop. But when it came to marketing, now I'm down to peanuts. And now it's not, because that is a mistake, especially with the type of business you're doing. All the money on inventory and no money for marketing. We don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So, because marketing will be crucial to how quickly you're able to turn a profit and how well you do it. And not all marketing is the same either. Yeah. So, yeah. So,
ladies, if you have any questions, comments, put them in the comments below. We always check them throughout the day to make sure that we can come back and chat with our replay viewers. So if you are here watching the replay, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will be back to chat with you. Any final words, Danielle?
Again, let me just tell you about the Set Up for Success program. So again, we come here every Tuesday at 12:30. So if you're enjoying this conversation, let a girl know. Let us know. Okay. We're just sitting here. We see you. We don't see you, but I see their numbers. So I know there's a couple of y'all on here. But and all the replay too. Please let us know if you stop by, and if you really enjoyed this. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that every Tuesday, or put in your calendar if you want to come back and again chit chat, have conversation. I mean, we're really passionate about sharing with as much women again how they can work less and make more, how they can hit high income months with doing it in a very feminine and graceful way that allows them to show up in all areas of their life at their best and not have one thing without the other. We want to be a role model for other women that are coming up so that they can be encouraged and not discouraged that this is a real thing, that this is totally possible. The way we blaze a path and do it today is setting the path for our daughters to have an example of how that their mothers were the ones who did show them that, yes, I can have the relationship, I can have the travel, I can have the money, I can have the body, I can have the wealth, the health, everything. And because I'm going to do this life like I'm doing it right. Okay. And we're just not going to play around with that. I'm going to do it like in the spirit of excellence. And I'm going to show how I can still take naps and be graceful. And I don't have to, because you know what? We're on the leading edge. Never has there been a time I feel like the whole universe is prepped us for this exact moment. We've got the internet, we've got the ability to work from home and reach anybody. So I think it's really important that we women start leaning into that and, showing for other women. So we have, again, we come every Tuesday for this show called the Set Up for Success show. Ty and I both have our own personal multi-six-figure businesses that we've been doing for multiple years, full-time, also married and mothers. So we really are kind of you're living it. We are living it. Everything when I'm talking about having it all, I feel like I have it all, and it's only getting better and better. The dream is just upgrading you know what I mean? We on upgrade mode. So the Set Up for Success online business consultant program is our joint program that we've come together and we've combined our expertise, our education, our strategies, our skill sets, our solutions to teach and train women exactly what we do, what we coach and consult women entrepreneurs on. So we teach you how to be a Set Up for Success online business consultant. You get a whole done for you business. So you get all the materials, in about 7 to 14 days, you'll be able to launch your SOBC business, which is what we call it, and you'll be able to start generating and earning clients at least $1,000 per client. So with just 5 clients, you could make $5,000, and that can go up. Some of our women are now charging $6,500 for packages and receiving clients at that. So one $6,500 client, she done replaced her income that she was working at her job. So the website for that is setupforsuccess.biz. We're always enrolling. We have a private Facebook group. We also coach our women weekly. So it's a fabulous community, especially if you're a woman of color and you've been looking for a space that's for you, by you, then this is definitely you. If you're not, a woman of color, this is still a place that we welcome you with open arms, because our core is really helping women make sure that they can, live out their dreams and really, be an impact into, the next generation. So check us out there.
Yes, that was awesome. Look at you. Tied it all up in a nice little bow.
Yeah, because my intro to this video, I was stumbling around like a news reporter without her mic. Blah, blah, blah. But now I done tied it up towards the end. So, once I get in my rhythm, give me a minute to warm up. So if you saw the intro, I was like, wait, what is going on?
You're fine. And no, though, we're going to continue to talk about this. This is part of our mission. I was actually just talking to my assistant today about making sure that we're clear on how we talk about the things that are centered, our business is centered around, right? And this is what our business is centered around: helping women understand how to be their best self in every area. Like this. It's great to say that we help women in business, and it's really cool. And people ask us what we do. It's a nice conversation. But at the end of the day, we're helping women become truly who they really want to be and who they desire to be, and get them to have what they desire to have. And that's this it's just a beautiful thing. So we thank you for being here, for checking us out every week. Again, we'll see you next week, next Tuesday at 12:30. And we did put the link for our Facebook group on the caption as well. So you can go ahead and join the group if you're not already in there. And if you have any questions, comments about what we talked about today, especially the program, and you're like, I want to know more, tell me more, definitely DM the Set Up for Success page so that one of us can get back to you and either, walk you through the process, answer questions for you, or get you on our calendar so we can book a call and chat. All right.
Absolutely. Until next time, much love, much peace, and much prosperity.
All right. Bye, ladies. See you next week.
Bye.